Morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of structural analysis 2. So, in the previous class, we have discussed about the derivation of these deflections, isn't it? So, you'll just recall this one. So, from the principle of superposition, suppose, for example, we have a continuous beam wherein we have, three reactions over here and one reaction over here at B and another reaction at C. So, totally, we have five unknown reactions. So 5 unknown reactions minus 3 equilibrium equations will give you 2. So the static indeterminacy of the structure will be 2. So so what we do is we try to remove the two unknown reactions, that is RB and RC, from here in the first step, and will name, because of this UDL, because of the external load, we'll be having delta L1 and delta L2. Similarly, after next step, in the second step, we try to place RB, and we get reactions for, we get deflections for at B and C separately. Then thereby we'll be having another, we'll place another reaction, that is RC, so that we can get two another deflections, that is delta 21 and delta 22. So depending upon that, we derived this equation and we came across this as reactions is equal to inverse of flexibility matrix into delta minus delta L. Now what is this R and what is this flexibility inverse matrix and what is delta and minus delta L? We'll study in the problem itself. Okay. So we have a problem based on continuous beam, that is analyze the continuous beam shown in figure using flexibility matrix method. And even in case of examinations, you'll be getting, analyze the continuous beam using flexibility matrix method. Along with that, you'll get draw the bending moment diagram or shear force diagram, or both, that is bending moment diagram and shear force diagram. Since I'm not in this problem, and in upcoming problems we'll be dealing with the method only. If they ask you to calculate shear force and bending moment, or if they ask you to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, you have to draw the diagrams and you have to calculate all the unknown values, okay, accordingly. So see here, we have a continuous beam of span 4 meters and 5 meters. It is fixed at A. It has a simply supported beam and simply supported C, a roller supported C, B and C. So the span of AB is 4 meter and span of BC is 5 meters. So, and the UDL is 20 kilonewton per meter. So in the first case, the very first case I'm writing here, I'll name this as M. Okay, we'll name this as M diagram. We say this as M diagram. Then we have M1 diagram. Then we have M2 diagram. Okay, gradually we'll study all these things. So what I am doing in the first step, you see here, in the first step I am removing this RB. Yes, you can see here we have RB and even we have RC here. So if you see this in the first diagram, that is your M1 M diagram, we have removed this one and we have removed this one, isn't it? So we have removed RB and RC. Why we have removed two reactions? Because static indeterminacy of this structure is 2, isn't it? SI of this structure is 2. How? See here we have three reactions, three at fixed support, one at this roller support, and the third one as, one more reaction at support C, joint C or point C. So 3, 4, 5. Here we have totally three reactions, isn't it? So 3, 4, 5. So 5 minus 3. What is that 5 minus 3? 5 minus 3. So this 3 is how, what? 3 is number of equilibrium equations. This 5 is number of unknown equations in the beam, okay, or in the structure. So 5 minus 3 is 2. So the SI of this figure is 2. So we should remove what? How many equations? How many unknown reactions? Two reactions. So in the first step, I am removing this reaction and this reaction, and I am placing my UDL over the entire span. So what we are doing now, you see here, we are taking section 1 1. We are taking section 1 1 at a distance x from point C. Okay, So before going to the further calculation, I'll take you to the next slide, that is this slide. See here, we have to prepare a table like this. So this table should have, region, then origin, then limit, then EI. What is the modulus of elasticity of the beam? Yeah, I mean modulus of rigidity. Then we have M, then we have M1, then we have M2. If you solve the problem till here, if you take down the values till here, no, if you take down the values till here properly, this is the major part of the problem. Okay, if you have the proper values of these, values of these notations, that is region, if you have taken region, then origin, what is the limit, then modulus of rigidity, then what is M and M1. If these values are calculated properly, then this calculation part is very simple. This part will be calculated by your calculator only. So you don't have to calculate all the things. Since we have calculators with us, so these calculations will be calculated by your calculator. Okay, so the only thing which you have to do here is properly take down these values. If you have if you take the values properly, this one, then this part, the yellow part will be calculated by your calculator only. Okay, so this part is very very important. All right. So we'll go back to the previous slide. So we'll name this as M, okay? This as capital M. Then we have M1 diagram. Then we have M2 diagram. All right. So what we do here is I have taken section 1 1. So first is region. What is this region? So we have to start our calculation right from the free end of the beam, isn't it? So it is like a cantilever beam. So I'm starting my calculation from free end. So I have taken section 1 1. I have taken section 1 1, and if you go back, if you go to the previous next slide, that is this. If you see this line, we have region. So what is the region? In which region we have section 1 1? We have region in we have section in region BC, isn't it? So what is the limit of BC? 0 to 5, isn't it? What is the span of BC? 0 to 5. What is the modulus of elasticity or modulus of rigidity of the beam? Modulus of rigidity of the beam is EI. It is not mentioned, so we have to take EI only. Okay. Then we have to calculate what is this M. So what is M is nothing but the moment developed at this point. Moment developed at this point. How to calculate moment at this point? See here, 20 into x by 2, isn't it? 20, I'm calculating moment from the free end, isn't it? So 20 is the UDL acting over the entire span, or over this span, isn't it? 20 kilonewton per meter. So 20 into x by 2. See here, 20 into x by 2 will be minus 10x square, isn't it? So next, in the next step, what we do, we take another section. See here, we have taken another section. This is section 1 1. In the next step, we have taken another section 2 2. So which is at a distance of x from point B again. We are treating B as origin now. So now see here, see the next step, AB, region AB. We have origin as B, isn't it? In the previous case, we have treated origin as C, isn't it? So this is the origin. This is the origin, and what is the limit of AB? 0 to 4. See here, the limit of AB is 0 to 4, isn't it? The span of AB is 4. So 0 to 4. Next, what we do? We go for the calculation of moment at this point, this particular point. So how to calculate moment? Moment is covering, UDL is covering this entire span, isn't it? So we will calculate moment at this particular location, but we have to consider the entire beam. What is the entire part of the beam? See here, we have x plus 5 also. So if you calculate moment, so minus 20 into x plus 5, isn't it? X plus 5 into x plus 5 by 2. So it will be minus 10 into x plus 5 whole square, isn't it? So this is the first part of the problem. Okay. In the next step, what we do, we go for the M1 diagram wherein we have removed the UDL. You can see here we have removed the entire UDL and we have placed RC, but we have placed 1 kilonewton. Always remember we have to place 1 kilonewton since we have studied unit load method in strength of materials. This method is completely based, I mean flexibility matrix method is completely based on unit load method only. Okay, unit load method only. So what we do here is, so we do one we try to remove the entire UDL, then we place 1 kilonewton load at RC first, then we calculate the moments, that is same sections will keep, same thing, X will be here, and even your second section 2 will also be here only. Okay, section 1 will be as it is and section 2 will be as it is, that is we'll follow the same sections, because see here, you can see here this part, till this part both the values will be same, isn't it? Only the moments will be changed here, we have changed here. Now we'll calculate this M from M1 diagram. You can see, you will go to the previous slide again. Now you see here for span BC, if you see the right side of this beam, if you see the right side of the beam, we have, um, you know, we do not have any load here. Okay, so we have load here. So 1 into x will be how much? It is going in anti-clockwise direction. So anti-clockwise direction will be positive. So 1 into x. Then we have, so it has first is we have to consider this one, this as M1 and this as M2. They have changed this one. I think there is a writing mistake here. So first we consider, as I told you before also, first we'll place RB. Okay, so once you place RB, if you take section 1 here, then what happens? What will be the moment at this point? What will be the moment developed at this point? See here, we do not have any load. So what happens in the, see here, it is 0 over here. Okay, next if you go to the section 2, you take section 2, then what happens? We have 1 into x. See, we have 1 into x. Okay, next we'll go to the previous slide again. So in the next slide, we take the section, we apply RC here again. So this is 1 and this is 2. Okay, so once you apply this one, you will get 1 into x. Then you get, if you apply one more section over here, so what happens? X plus 1 into x plus 5. See here, 1 into x plus 5. Okay, so once you calculate this one, so what we do here is, I'll zoom it, or else we'll go back and we'll try to zoom here. You can see this one, we have integral m1 by ei into dx. Now what is m1? See here, m1, integral m1 is 10 minus 10x square into 0 is what? 0. Okay, similarly in the next step, mine m1, if you multiply this one, you will get some value. In the calculator itself, we have to give the limits, integral, what is the limit? Limit is 0 to 4. So once you give limit 0 to 4 into dx, you will get the value directly, that is 4773.33 by ei. Why ei? Because in the formula itself we have ei. Okay, similarly in the next problem, I mean in the next column, we'll go for m2, m2. So see here, minus 10x cube, isn't it? So 10x cube integral, what is the limit? 0 to 5. If you give the value to the calculator, directly you will get the value 1562.5 divided by ei. Okay, the same thing we'll do here, that is minus 10x, 10 into x plus 5 whole square into x plus 5, that is x plus 5 whole cube. Okay, m2. All right, so once you get this value, what we do, we directly give the limits. So you will get the value directly, that is 14840 by EI. Then in the next step, we go for M1, M2 by EI. M1, M2 by EI. That is M1, M2. What is this M1, M2? 0 into x is 0. You can see here. Similarly, x into x plus 5. X into x plus 5 and limit is 0 to 4. So you give this value into the calculator, it will give you 61.33 by EI. Then in the next step, we go for m1 square. What is m1 square? Integral m1 square by ei. So that means 0, this is 0, right? So it will get 0. Okay. Then in the next step again we have x. So integral x square, limit is 0 to 4. You will get the value of this value, that is 21.33. Similarly, we have m2 square. So m2 square is something wherein integral this x square divide in limit is 0 to 5, you'll get 41.69. Similarly, if you do the same thing over here, you'll get this value. So once you get all the values, what we do is we do the summation over here. We add these values. So if you add these values, you'll get 47 minus 477 and all these values. So you have to keep these values aside. And why we have calculated this? See, flexibility matrix is given by integral m1 square by ei into dx, then integral m1 m2 by ei into dx, then integral m1 m2 by ei into dx, then integral m2 square by ei into dx. So we are converting the entire beam, to a matrix form, isn't it? So flexibility matrix is given by 21.33. What is m1 square? M1 square value is this one. Okay. What is M1, M2? 61.33 by M1, M2. 61.33 by 61.33 by A. Then we have 243 by EI. Then what is delta L? Delta L is given by integral M1 by EI, then M2 by EI. So delta L will be integral, whatever the values we have here, we'll put these values. So what is this delta? We have in our formula, we have this one, right? So our reactions is equal to inverse of flexibility matrix into delta minus delta L. We got flexibility matrix. We got delta L. What is this delta? This delta is for sinking of support. If we have any sinking of support, then this delta will come into consideration. What is this R? R is nothing but your reactions. Okay. So you go to the next slide. What we are doing here, you see. Uh, yeah. So here we have R is equal to flexibility matrix inverse delta minus delta L. So see here RB and RC, we have to consider this one. These are the unknowns we have to calculate, isn't it? So I have placed my flexibility matrix here. Then once you do the inverse of any matrix, you can do this one in your calculators. So once you substitute all the values there, so you will get these values. If you do the inverse of a matrix, you'll get this value. And this ei, if you do inverse of that ei will go in numerator. Here we have ei in denominator. So numerator and denominator will get cancelled. That is, ei will get cancelled. And here, if you see here, 0. Why 0? Because delta is 0. If we have sinking of support, then only we'll consider this value. Okay, minus these values. So minus into minus, you got plus. Okay, so these are the values of inverse of matrix. Then this value, that is delta L. So once you multiply these values, you'll get the value of RB and RC. So the value of RB is 110.45 kilonewton and the value of RC is 40.78 kilonewton. So if you get the value of RB and RC, we can easily calculate reactions. We can easily calculate movements. All the values we can calculate without any problem. Okay. So this is how we calculate reactions with the help of flexibility matrix method. So we'll go once again so that you can get some clear picture or clear idea of this problem. That is, so the very first thing is we try to take down the question, then we'll try to remove these two parts. Why? Because the SI of this beam is 2. Okay, so then we have removed this one. Then actually first we place RB. Okay, the student, those who have written have, I mean, this will be my M1 diagram and this will be my M2 diagram, M2. Then this is nothing but your M diagram. Okay, only M. This is capital M, small m1 and small m2. Okay, so we take all these reactions accordingly. We calculate all the values and region, origin, limits. All these things are very important. If you write down these values properly, if you write down these values in a clear fashion, if you note down or calculate till here, if your calculation is perfect till here, then remaining part of the problem will be very easy, and calculations will be further easy. So extraction of values from the given beam is very important. First is M diagram. So M diagram will get by removing the reactions. What is M1? M1 is the diagram wherein we apply the first reaction. Then what is M2? M2 is the diagram wherein we apply the last reaction, that is RC. So depending upon these are, I mean, loads, we calculate these moments. We got these moment, this moment for span BC, and we got these three moments for span AB. Okay, for three diagrams. Then accordingly we calculate all these values. So if you have any doubts, you can contact me or text me a message separately. Okay, if you have any further doubts. All right. Thank you.